Woo! We have done it. We have hit 500,000 subscribers on GTN.
Wow. It only feels like yesterday that we hit the 100K. I mean, what a journey we've been on. And thank you so much to you guys for supporting us, following us, being subscribed to the channel. It means so much. And as always, we've got tons planned on the channel. So do stay tuned, keep watching, and please keep recommending us to your friends and family.
Yeah, and you never know, one day you might help us get to 1 million. But for now, we want to invite you guys to join us in celebrating reaching the 500,000 mark with our very own GTN 500 challenge.
Yeah, you can either cycle or you can run any route you like, as far as you like, but you must cover over 500 meters of elevation. Obviously, big kudos to anyone running, but either is obviously absolutely fine. And just get involved, celebrate this 500K, share that activity with us, maybe take a screenshot of it, and then upload it to us using the GTN uploader.
Well, Mark, I think we should lead by example.
Yep,
Off we
right.
go.
Best of luck.
See ya.
Bye. Hey, so how did it go? Cheers.
Cheers.
Still celebrating, still carrying on. How was it then?
It was good. It did take a little bit longer than I expected, considering we live somewhere so hilly. So I must say good luck to you guys, especially if you live somewhere a little bit flatter, but make sure you do get involved.
Yeah, it was great fun. Now, enough of us having fun. Time to crack on with the show because we have got a lot to talk about.
Oh, we have. In particular, a sub-7 and a sub-8 hour iron distance attempt.
Yeah, I mean, who hasn't been talking about this week? And we have got our own thoughts and speculations on this, but to help clarify things further, we've actually brought Kristian Blummenfelt in to help explain things further.
Yeah, and on top of that, we've also got two brands with 2 carbon shoes that are being released. Paula Findlay on her new bike, plus some exciting news with pro racing.
So then, how about this sub-7 hour or sub-8 hour iron distance attempt? Now, if you've had your head under a rock for the past week, basically 4 pro athletes will be attempting to go sub-7 and sub-8 hours over the iron distance.
Yeah, so for the men who are trying to go sub-7, it's Alistair Brownlee and Kristian Blummenfelt who've put their names forward. And then on the women's side, it's Lucy Charles-Barkley and Nicholas Spierig who are hoping to break 8.
Yeah, now to give this some perspective, the fastest ever iron distance times are 7 hours, 35 minutes and 39 seconds, set by Jan Frodeno in 2016, and then 8 hours, 18 minutes and 13 seconds, set by Chrissy Wellington in 2011. Now to clarify, any time set in this attempt will not be an official record or stand in the records books. It is a little bit like the Ineos 159 or the Breaking 2. It's a publicity stunt, but a very cool one, and it is all backed by the total partner, the Phoenix Foundation, which is a not-for-profit organisation helping to support young people and their involvement in sport.
Yeah, well, we thought we'd take a look at the breakdown of the numbers of when those records were set. So Jan Frodeno, when he clocked that record time, swam 45 minutes 22. He biked 4 hours, 8 minutes and 7 seconds and ran 2:39:18. I mean, all of those are impressive on their own, aren't they? And then Chrissy, she swam a 49:49. Her bike split was 4 hours, 40 and 39 seconds. And then she ran her marathon in 2 hours, 44 minutes, 35, and all of those are incredible. But we've had a sort of scan through the results of individual disciplines, and the fastest sort of separate ones seem to be for the swim, the men around 42 to 43 minutes, the women around 45. Then on the bike, 4 hours flat for the men and 4 hours 25-ish for the women. And finally the run, around 2 hours 35 on the men and 2 hours 41 for the women.
Yeah, so kind of bringing that all together, I reckon they'd be looking at something like the swim in 45 minutes, the bike in 3 hours 40, and the run in 2 hours 30. That's for the men. And that is obviously some pretty sizable chunks off the individual discipline records there. But you've got to remember, this isn't your typical event, which we will get into in just a moment.
Yeah, well, let's have a look at what we think the women would need to do. So the swim would be around 50 minutes, which, interesting, is actually slower than Chrissy's time. But something that maybe Nicholas Spierig might struggle with. She's a little bit slower than Lucy when it comes to the swim. The bike, that's going to be 4 hours 15, and that's so dependent, isn't it, on the course and everything. And the run, 2 hours 50.
They're pretty impressive, aren't they? Now let's discuss the big question. I mean, how are they suddenly going to shave 20 to 40 minutes off the existing iron distance records? Well, a little like the Ineos 159 Breaking 2, there will be assistance in the form of other athletes. Now, I did initially suspect perhaps there might be a kayak in front on the swim, maybe a meter or two in front, maybe even vehicle assistance on the bike and the run. But apparently that is not the case. It is purely man-powered. But beyond that, we know very little else at the moment. So I thought it's time we got Kristian Blummenfelt in to help us explain.
Hey Kristian, thanks ever so much for joining us today. Now, we want to pick your brains on this sub-7 attempt. I mean, surely you are absolutely stoked and really excited to be involved in it.
Yeah, of course. I think I got the message 10 months ago about the idea and the project, and immediately we started kind of digging into the numbers to see if it was really possible or not. And it's quite good to finally get the news out and getting the speculation going, and also getting feedback from other athletes and people, and kind of seeing what they think and what they believe. And also it's still a year away, but as you know, 12 months is flying by so quickly. So suddenly we are there, first half of 2022, and the big day will be there.
Yeah, now I might just start by addressing the big elephant in the room, really. Do you think it's possible?
Yes. Yeah, I think with the perfect conditions, good wind, a good team around you, it should be possible. But then you need every margin on your side. Of course, it's not something you can do in the Norseman course. You need to have, ideally, you need to find a place where you have zero wind in the morning, and a place where it's picking up maybe 90k in, and you're just turning back and you're getting tailwind the way back, super flat, and then nice condition, nice temperature on the run, and of course flat water. If you get everything like that, and also a good team around you, maybe even optimizing the equipment, especially on the bike, the tri-suit, not just for me, but for the whole team. I think it's a lot you can gain there.
Yeah, and surely probably a location that they can close the roads down and give you the fastest race possible. So, I mean, this team aspect, that's really interesting, because obviously we saw this with the Nike Breaking 2 and the Ineos 159. Now, does that mean that you'll essentially be picking a team around you to draft off on the swim, optimizing the draft, the same on the bike and the run? So, there's got to be a lot of testing to go with this, and getting the optimal draft in the swim and find those right athletes. I mean, this is quite exciting. Have you looked into any of that yet?
Yeah, so that's something we already started with this summer. As you said, comparing it to the sub-7 or sub-2 in marathon, this will be even more difficult, because we are two athletes, myself and Alistair, who might have two different racing plans. So we need two different teams, across swim, bike and run, because he might go in one pace in the water. I maybe want to go a little bit faster than him on the bike, and he maybe want to do it on the run. So, and also we need to find a team who is capable of doing the work over, especially on the bike, 180k team time trial. And I think that's the hardest part of the whole project, to find athletes who are strong enough to do the job on the bike, because I think we can always find swimmers who can do 110, 108 on the swim. We can always find people who are capable of doing maybe 220 marathon, but to find cyclists who can do 180k team time trial at 51k per hour, that's a really tough task. And you can't even take a pro cyclist and ask him to do the task. We need to find specialists in TT, this TT, and then maybe using 5 to 6 months on training them to be strong enough to do the task. So I think that's the biggest limitation when it comes to the sub-7.
Yeah, fab. Well, I won't ask you any more questions because I clearly this is still a work in progress. So I'd love to pull you back in maybe a few months' time later this year and pick your brain again and see where you're at with equipment and the training for it and whatnot. But thanks ever so much for joining today, and all the best for your training, and look forward to catching up soon.
Well, thank you very much.
Wow. What do you think to this one then, Heather?
Do you know, it might sound like a little bit blasé, but I believe they can do it. I mean, we don't know the parameters and how, but I really feel like with various helps and various bending of rules that, especially for the women's record, I mean, that is 10 years old, and Chrissy did it on her own, and these athletes had 10 years got more advanced in technology, plus they're going to have all this assistance. I'm not putting doubt on it. I think it's crazy and I think it's great, but I think it's doable.
Yeah, I've got enough doubt, but enough kind of I don't
Interest.
know, something, yeah, that makes me
exciting.
excited about it. I mean, it does seem crazy though that they might bike 20 minutes faster than Andrew Starkovic's fastest ever bike time in an iron distance, which most people haven't got close to, which does seem mad. But then, you know, you can't underestimate the power of having a group around them on the bike. So,
yeah. I mean the fact that the men have got to do double the amount quicker, they've got to do 40 minutes quicker than the women's record. I think the sub 7 could be a bigger ask. Well, is a bigger ask.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's so many questions left to answer, really, and I hope we find out in due course. I mean, are they having to race separately, or can they all kind of work together and draft off whenever, you know, Kristian and Alistair together? And can Lucy be involved, you know, with Alistair on the swim? Can the women bring in men to their team of athletes? And can they just literally throw the rule book out of the window and use any kit, adapt, modify to really help benefit them? It's really exciting. And let's not also forget, Kristian's never actually done an iron distance event, which just makes it even more exciting. So yeah, I will definitely going to be tuning in, and I hope you guys will too.
Okay, moving on to Tri news now. And over the last few weeks, is a new year, we've been talking about various athletes changing to different brand partners. There's one athlete who has left us hanging somewhat. Paula Findlay, she had an amazing result at the championship where she won back in December, and we've been waiting to hear what bike partner she's going to be teaming up with. And the news is that it's Specialized, and it seems like she's done a full circle because it's actually who she started with at the beginning of her career. So we're delighted to see Paula with a brilliant brand there. And if you guys want to see more, and I think she's actually done a sort of a real lowdown on the partnership and the bike over on her channel that she does with Eric. And yeah, we love their stuff. So I'd recommend, if you want to know a bit more, go and check that out. Yeah,
they do some fantastic stuff. Big followers of them. But you may have noticed we haven't updated on our friend Adrian, who has been doing the longest triathlon, 7,500 kilometers in 75 days. Well, yes, you may not have heard from him in a few weeks, but fear not, he is still going well. So time to get a little update from him.
Hi Heather and Mark. Yes, I've done 6,000 kilometers, 1,450 gone running. Then I cycled around the island, 4,500 kilometers, making 6,000 kilometers my total. Not that much. I'm going for 7,500. So yeah, so another 1,400 on the bike, then 220 swimming, and I'm done. Yeah, my motivation is more than ever because, you know, Corona's hit again, hasn't it? And that was my motivation at the beginning. My races were cancelled, so I decided to do this. And now it's worse than ever. But I'm in the middle of it and I'm motivated. So find your own motivation somehow. I don't know how. And please support Practical Action. They're doing wonderful work around the world. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. I will tell you when I'm in the water. Thanks. Bye.
Right, before we move on with tech news, we have an exciting announcement coming from our sister channel over at GTN. And I think it's something that's going to interest quite a few of you guys. Well, the team have been working pretty hard behind the scenes, ready for the launch of GCN+. Now, this includes full feature-length films. We've got adventure films, you've got shows, documentaries. On top of that, you still get the Racing Pass, which has got highlights, live racing, and analysis on it.
Yeah. Now, in fact, if you liked Norseman, which has been a very popular video over on our channel, we have a full feature-length version of that with a completely different story and style to it. So if you'd like to sign up to this brand new streaming service, well, they've actually got an offer running till the end of the month. It's half price, so it works out £19.99 or 19.99 euros, or even $24.99 in US dollars. And as I said, that's running through until the end of the month. You'll get the racing as well as over 100 documentaries per year. So if you'd like to find out more on this, which we'll be launching on the 15th of February, we have a link for that in the description just down below. But here is a bit of a sneak preview for you.
This is everything I've built towards.
I'm a little bit crazy.
Never seen anything quite like this.
Out of breath, high heart rate.
We only get one shot.
God, come on!
I'm really feeling the altitude now.
There was shades of 89, Le Mans Fignon, but this was something else.
3D printing is taking the world by storm.
It was an amazing time. I met amazing people. Hello and welcome to the world of cycling.
I wanted to do the impossible challenge.
Look at this.
A gold mine of carbon fibre.
The mountain takes no prisoners.
Through the sprint, the throw to the line.
All right, now it is time for our tech news, and we should probably start by announcing that we have an exciting new partner. We have just teamed up with the Magic5 Swim Goggles, and we've been trying them out secretly behind the scenes, and yeah, just excited to share these with you guys, really.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. Now, if you haven't come across these before, they are totally customized to your face, to your eyes. So essentially, using an app on your phone, you scan your face, that 3D image is sent to Magic5, and before you know it, a set of goggles are sent through the post to you. And I've got to say, they really do fit your face so nicely, or at least they have done for us. They've been superb. Now, I have to admit, here in the UK, we can't jump in the swimming pool at the moment, yet we're buzzing to jump in and use our new goggles out. So stay tuned for some content coming soon with Magic5. All
right, now more on those carbon shoes we mentioned, and you might be pleased to hear, I don't know, that they are not actually one of the big brands. It's not Nike, it's not Adidas, it's none of those. It's actually two brands you might not associate with carbon shoes, North Face and Craft. Well, first we'll take a look at the North Face shoe, and as you'd expect with that brand, it's an off-road trail shoe, the Flight Vective, and they've been testing this with several of their elite runners. In actual fact, they had 14 of their runners who've set new FKTs, fastest known times, whilst wearing the prototype versions of the Vective. And we should probably have a quick look at the stats. It's quite cool for a trail shoe. It's got a 6mm heel-to-toe drop, but it does come in at a weight of 570 grams.
And then we have the shoes from Craft. Now, you may more commonly associate Craft with clothing, but they have actually been making shoes for quite a while now, but these new pair of shoes are called the CTM Ultra Carbon. Now, they've actually been developing these with a famous marathon and ultra runner, Tommy Rivs, for quite a while now, and they've managed to combine their lightweight Volt foam with a tuned carbon plate, which is actually split between the big toe and the other toes, which they call the precision split. And apparently it is meant to allow the big toe to independently press down on the medial side plate and then the other toes to press on the lateral side of the plate, which they say creates torsion and provides an ultra rebound from the carbon. Now, the shoe actually has a 10mm heel to toe drop, so a little bit more than the North Face shoe, but it does come in at an impressive 260 grams for the pair.
All right, we've now got some almost race news, I guess we could call it, after talking about Jim's 100k world record on the road last week. We have a new 100k world record, this time on a treadmill. It's been set by Florian Neuschwander in a time of 6 hours, 26 minutes and 8 seconds. Now, for that, he held an average of 3 minutes 52 per kilometre for all 100, and he broke the previous record by 13 minutes. And apparently, he did it all on Zwift to sort of help with the entertainment. I mean, that's got to be one of the longest, if not the longest runs on Zwift ever, hasn't it?
I do wonder, has anyone attempted a 24-hour run on Zwift?
I don't know, but I would love to know what level he's on after that.
Yeah.
Impressive effort.
Well, whilst we're talking of Zwift, we actually have some exciting racing kicking off on Zwift this week. In fact, starting this evening. Remember the Z Pro Tri Series? Well, that has taken quite an exciting twist, now going to a duathlon format for the next 4 weeks. So now it's going to be run over a bike, run, bike format. So we'll be going from an individual time trial into a run race, into a points race. It's going to be run over a variety of different courses to hopefully suit all the different pros and their abilities, the all-rounders and whatnot. Now, you can follow that racing as you have before on the Zwift YouTube channel live. We'll have live commentary from Matt Lieto and Sarah True. And as I said, that's going to be kicking off this evening at 7 p.m. GMT. So make sure you tune in and watch it.
All right, we've just got a couple of pics to share with you today because we've had a pretty long show already, haven't we? So this first one comes in from Nina, and in the background there's her Ridley Expo. She's actually in Helsinki in Finland, and she says she's built this setup with a friend, so now they can train without going to the gym. It's snowy here, so it's nice to be able to do some training inside. We've even had some snow here actually, so I know how you feel. But she says, as a newbie with triathlon, just started last year, nice to have my own pain cave already too, right?
Yeah, that is a cracking pain cave as well. That really, really is good. We've got one from Lisa here. Don't know quite where it is, other than it's her parents' garage, which, to be honest, the fact you can use your parents' garage for your pain cave
brilliant.
is brilliant. So you've got your Carrera set up there on your turbo with Zwift set up, and you've got a little treadmill there. It's quite a small, dinky treadmill.
I know, God,
very portable.
Yeah,
but yeah, brilliant. So yeah, thanks ever so much for sending in your pain caves, and as always, please do keep sending yours in using the photo uploader on screen right now or in the description just down below. Okay, now finally for the caption competition, and we had this photo last week of the ITU guys running out of the mist, and you guys had a lot of fun with the captions. So first up, Tony Thomas said, I really missed racing. Fergal Akala said, I'm starting to think we missed the turning point. Then Mike Ellis, yep, okay, I admit that was too much talc in my shoes.
However, our winner this week is Len Whitrock with this caption. These guys are smoking the competition, literally. Well, congratulations, Len. Make sure you get in touch with us so we can send out a GTN cap to you. And for this week, we have this photo.
So yeah, get involved in the caption competition. Post your caption in the comment section down below. But that is it for the GTN show this week. Don't forget to get involved in our GTN 500 challenge. Post 500 meters of elevation on any route or any distance you like over cycling or running. But that is it. Coming up on the show this week though, we do have a half marathon training plan with Dan Lloyd from GCN, which should be fun. And he's going after a pretty cheeky time, so stay tuned for that.
I know, I'm feeling motivated by that actually, just hearing what's going on. Well, if you're motivated or you want some kit to help motivate you, maybe even one of our running tops, do check out the link that's on screen now for the shop. And before you go, give us a like if you've enjoyed today's show. Remember, just click that glow that's on screen if you want to subscribe. And a couple of videos for you to watch now. Well, Mark has made a very interesting video looking at the difference between, or the speed difference between a triathlon bike and an aero road bike. I think you're more aero than that when you're on the road bike. And also there's how to triathlon on a budget.